What's up guys, it's Josh here from KeepItTechie, where I help you learn Linux and get into the tech field one command at a time. Let me ask you something real quick. If you're self-hosting stuff at your home right now, maybe Jellyfin, Plex, Nextcloud, Getty, Paperless, or some random dashboards, how are you exposing these services? Are you memorizing ports, typing IP addresses every time, or worse, opening ports manually and hoping nothing breaks? Yeah, we've all been there. So in this video, I'm going to show you guys how to install and use Nginx Proxy Manager on Ubuntu Server 24.04 and how it can clean up your entire Homelab or self-hosted setup without needing to be an Nginx wizard. Now, before we jump in, do me a real quick favor. If you're into Linux, self-hosting, or learning how this stuff actually works under the hood, go down and hit that like button. And if you're new here, consider subscribing. It helps the channel out a ton and you don't miss future videos on various topics like this. All right, let's get into it. Okay, so I'm at nginxproxymanager.com. And of course, I'll have the link down in the description of the video so you can get to the site. But first off, what is Nginx Proxy Manager? At its core, it's a reverse proxy manager tool built on top of Docker and Nginx. But instead of writing Nginx config files by hand, it gives you a clean web UI where you can point domains to internal services. You can also automatically generate SSL certificates using Let's Encrypt. You can manage access rules, you can add authentication, and keep everything organized. And this is huge for beginners, but it's also something a lot of experienced Homelab folks use because it just saves time. Now, you still get Nginx performance, but without the config file headache. Now, let's talk about who this is actually for. If you fall into any of these groups, this tool makes a whole lot of sense to use. Let's say you're new to self-hosting and want clean HTTPS URLs, or you're running multiple services on one server, or let's say you don't want to memorize IPs and ports, or you want SSL without fighting certbot config, or you want something easy to maintain. This is especially useful if you're building a home lab, learning infrastructure, or trying to build real-world skills for IT or DevOps roles. And honestly, if you don't know Nginx, sometimes you just want something that works and stays out of the way. Now, let me quickly show you guys how to get this thing set up. They have a lot of documentation on here. So if you hit setup over here on the right top, this will take you to their documentation. It's very simple. They give you example compose files. So of course you need Docker and Docker compose installed on your server. And you can just copy these compose files, modify them to your liking, to what you need. Like for instance, the time zone. And then they also have a couple options down in here. Let's say you want a MySQL database. They show you all those options as well. Let's say you want to use a Postgres database. I'm gonna keep it super simple. I'm gonna use the very simple one up here, which uses a SQLite file. Also, just show you guys, they do have some advanced configurations. So if you want to go down and bring here and look at some of their advanced configurations, you can check these out, like looking at the help checks, the file secrets. If you want an environmental file, it just walks you through everything. Let's say you want to disable IP version 6 or disable IP ranges. They have a whole bunch of options down up in here that will allow you to do some configurations that are considered advanced. And then also how to upgrade, simple steps to upgrade, just Docker compose pull and then restart the containers. And then also they do have some third-party plugins, so Home Assistant, it could tie into Home Assistant, Raise, Synology, Proxmox scripts. You can use that to set it up. They do have a script for it, so you can set it up using that as well. So let's go on and hop over to our virtual machine. But before we install, you want to make sure you have everything set up properly. And what you need is either Ubuntu Server 24.04 or whatever your server of choice with Docker installed. You need a non-root user with sudo access, a domain name pointing to your server. Now, one of the things you need to focus on is, I've done a video on this in the past, and this is a way to have access to port 80. Now, if you have Cox internet like I do, you cannot use port 80. They block port 80 because they don't want people hosting websites from their home, and they want you to buy a business account in order to host a website from their home address. In order to get around that, there is a way to get around it by using a Cloudflare tunnel. And I have a video showing you guys, I'll link that up at the top so you guys can find that. But I do have a video showing you guys how to set up a Cloudflare tunnel so you can run port 80 through Cloudflare. And that way you can get your certs for your services. So all your SSL certs through the cert bot can go through the Cloudflare tunnel in order to renew and also get them set up. And like I said earlier, we also need Docker install, and I'll walk you guys through using my Docker script, which is super simple, super quick. And so let's go down and hop over to my terminal so I can walk you guys through the full setup. What's up, y'all? If you've been watching my channel for a minute, you already know I stay talking about Linux. And if you're looking for a solid, reliable enterprise Linux distro, let me put you on to Rocky Linux. This is the go-to replacement for CentOS, and it's built for the community, by the community. It's got everything you need for a stable and secure Linux experience, whether you're running servers, Homelabs, or enterprise workloads. And the best part, it's backed by CI/CD, making sure it stays rock solid for the long haul. So if you're tired of these companies pulling a plug on your favorite distros, Rocky Linux is where you need to be. And I've covered Rocky Linux before, and trust me, it's worth checking out. So head over to rockylinux.org to learn more and get started. Keep it techie. Peace. All right, so I'm connected to my Ubuntu 24.04 server. It's 100% updated, so I don't have to run any updates on it. But what we'll do is install Docker right fast. So let's switch over back to the browser and go over to my KeepItTechie wiki and type in Docker. And let's find our script right fast. And I'm not gonna just go through everything like I've done in the past. I'm gonna just copy the script and switch back over to our terminal, and let's go down and run it right fast. Boom. And then we'll go ahead on and install Docker and Docker Compose. And I'll be back when this finishes. And like I've told you in the past, this script will just install Docker, the latest version of Docker, as well as Docker Compose. It is set up to run on Ubuntu Server, so Ubuntu 24.04, 22.04. It'll also add the user account that you're currently logged in as into the Docker group, so you don't have to use, but I'll be back when it finishes. All right, so Docker Compose is installed, so all we have to do is log out and log back into it, and boom, we're good to go. So now we should have Docker access, so I can type groups and you'll see we're reported to Docker group, so we're good to go. Now, first thing you want to do is go down and create a folder for whatever application you're going to run using Docker Compose. So what we're going to do is create a folder called Nginx Proxy Manager. And I always like to name it out whatever application I'm running. So Nginx Proxy Manager. And then let's go down and go into that folder right fast. And we're going to create our compose file. So let's type nano docker compose YML for YAML, press enter. And I've already set up our compose file from their website. So let's go down and drop that in there. And let me quickly explain what we have set up here. So port 80 and 443 are for our web traffic, and port 80 is for our admin UI. And then we have our volumes down here, and this will make sure our configurations and certs are persistent. So it's nothing fancy, but it's very intentional. So let's go on and save that and close out. And now all we have to do is start up our container. So Docker Compose, and then up-D and press enter. And this will pull the image for us and our Docker container. And it should take 30 seconds to a minute or so. Just give it a little time. And once it completes, we can go over to the website right fast and show you guys. All right, so our container is set up. So now we can switch over to back to our browser, and then we could go to the site right fast and get everything set up. And I already know what the IP address is. If you don't know what your IP address is, then you can run IPA and it'll give you what your IP address is of your system. Mine is 10.10.0.102, and like I told you guys before, the port is 81. So let's go down and switch back over to our browser, and let's go down and type 10.10.0.102 and then port 81, and boom, there we go. So first thing you want to do is create your admin account. You can put in whatever you want here. So I'm gonna just name it Josh, and I'm gonna put Josh at kitpro.us, And then let's just create a super strong password, and then we can hit save, and we are good to go there. And this will create our admin account. Boom, good to go. So you set it however you want to. It'll create a administrative account, and this is the main dashboard. And you want to make sure you do a strong password on this, because this is internet facing software. So once you're in, take a few seconds to look around, but make sure that password is super strong. This UI is the reason people love this tool. So that's why I say just take a look around, understand what it's about. And let me go down and show you guys a little bit of the main menu right fast. So this is your dashboard. It shows you how many proxy hosts you have, redirect hosts, 0 streams, 404 hosts. So under here you got your host, so you got your proxy host right there. You can add your hosts, redirect host, streams, 404, basically everything under the dashboard right here. This is how you go in and add all of that. So redirect hosts, streams, and 404 hosts. Access list, this is how you create your ACL list. Certificates, this is where you can add your certs right here. Then your users, this is how you manage all your users. So if you want to add more users to your account or your manager or your dashboard, you add more users here. You can give them whatever type of permission you want. This is your auditing right here. So this will track all the changes based on users, and then your settings. So this is just your main settings right here. This will show what to show when Nginx is hit with an unknown host. So you can specify that right up in here. You can have a custom URL or a custom HTML, a redirect, a no response, or a 4-page. So that's all depending on how you want to have that set up. Now let's go under our admin account just to show you guys a little bit of that. So super simple account there. You can change your password right here. Boom, super simple UI. You can change your colors, you can change your language. So like I said, they got a dark mode and a light mode, super simple. So it's pretty simple UI. Let me hit that so that'll go away. Now let me give you guys a quick example right fast. So if you go under host, let's say you have a Jellyfin server running on a server within your network, and I'll just, I don't know, just make up something right fast. So you can go under proxy host, and this is where we can add our proxy host. Domain name, you can specify a domain name. You can start by typing to add a domain. So let's just put Jellyfin dot, I don't know, kit, I'm just put kit pro US, just to set up something. That'll be the domain name for it. And all you have to do is press enter. That will add that domain name for you. And then your scheme, HTTP, right there. And then you can set up the IP address for that server. So let's say it's on a different server. Let's say it's on 10.10.0.101. So let's say another server is hosting the Jellyfin server, and let's say it's running on 8096. Boom. And we want it to be publicly accessible. That's fine. You can cache the assets, you can block common exploits, WebSocket support, all that good stuff. So all you have to do is hit save. Also custom location, you can add a different location, SSL. You can select that, request a new cert via Let's Encrypt. I'm gonna leave that blank for right now, but I'm gonna just add that host right fast. Boom. It's very simple. It basically creates that configuration file for you with all the information that you added there. And typically, if you look at a Proxmox or an Nginx server, this is a pretty decent sized configuration file. And I can show you guys on one of my main servers. I'll do something like that a little bit later. But let's say you didn't add the, I don't know, the SSL, and once you got it set up the way you want to, and let's say you want to go in and add the SSL, so you can go into here, request a new cert, and you can change all these options. So force SSL, use DNS challenge if you want to, but you get saved there, and this will force it to request a new cert. Now it's gonna fail because, like I told you guys, Cox blocks port 80. So you have to have either a tunnel or some way to bypass port 80 via Cox, because and that's only if you have Cox. I know certain other ISPs, they allow port 80 to go through. I know when I lived in Texas, what was it, Comcast or whoever we had down there, they allow port 80. I was able to host everything from my house. Here I have to use Cloudflare and run everything through a tunnel in order to get everything working, and with SSL certs and all that stuff. But once you add your certs, they'll show up under here. You can see all your certs when they'll renew and all that stuff under here. But this is the moment where most people usually say, oh, that's it? Yeah, that's it. When it comes to Nginx Proxy Manager, it's super simple when it comes to the GUI. Now let's quickly talk about security real quick. Nginx Proxy Manager lets you create access lists, like I talked about a little bit earlier, and I'll just click on it right fast. But this is useful for the admin dashboards, internal only services, or lightweight authentication within full auth systems. You can create a list that requires username, passwords, IP allow rules. That's the rules right there. And then attach that list to any proxy host. And it's not meant to replace something like CompTIA, but it's perfect for basic protection. Now, let me save you guys a little bit of frustration. Just know that DNS must point to your server. SSL won't work if your domain doesn't resolve correctly. Also, don't run another web server on port 80 or 443 on the current server that you're working with. If you have Apache or a old Nginx install, anything like that needs to be stopped on the server that you're running Nginx Proxy Manager on. Also, make sure you back up your volumes. I talk about this on every video. The data folder is pretty much everything. So all your configuration files, all that stuff is stored there. So just make sure you back that up. And also it works best with one entry point. So one proxy server and many internal services. So just make sure that's the way you have it set up. And being honest here, you might want something else if you need advanced Nginx tuning. And that's why I use the main version of Nginx. I do all my configurations via the command line. That way you have a little bit more tuning, but this is very good for beginners. And also if you're doing like Kubernetes ingress, or if you want zero UI and all config as code, then you might want to try something else. But for most self-hosters that are Homelabbers and all that stuff like me or other people that watch this channel, this is more than enough to manage all your services. So let's recap. Nginx Proxy Manager simplifies reverse proxying, handles SSL automatically. It also makes self-hosting cleaner and safer, and is very beginner friendly but still powerful. If you're building a home lab, learning Linux, or trying to level up your infrastructure skills, this is one of those tools that just makes everything super easy. And remember, you don't need to know everything to start. You learn this stuff by doing. So breaking things, fixing them, and trying again. Now, if this video helped you, go down and hit that like button. If you want more Linux, self-hosting, and real world tech content, go down and subscribe. Drop a comment if you're already using Nginx Proxy Manager, or if you're setting it up for the first time. And as always, keep learning, keep exploring, keep breaking stuff, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace. Yo, what's up, y'all? Listen, if you've been sitting there thinking about making a move, let me tell you, tech is where it's at. I don't care where you're coming from, whether you've got a degree, a GED, or just pure hustle. There's room for you in this game. You see, tech is more than just keyboards and code. It's solving problems, creating opportunities, and building the future. You already have what it takes, because tech doesn't care where you start. It cares where you're willing to go. You can teach yourself Linux, learn Python, break into cybersecurity, or even launch your own app. And the resources are out here for free. And yes, you heard me, free. Now, yeah, it's gonna take effort. You'll have to grind, but think about this. The time is gonna pass anyway. So why not invest it in a skill that'll change your life? I mean, tech doesn't just pay the bills, it opens doors to freedom, stability, and generational wealth. So stop doubting yourself, start small, stay consistent, and keep building. Because this isn't just a career, it's a movement. And guess what? You belong here. So let's get it, because the future is yours to build. Keep it techie.